What's up, guys? Amber Smiles Jones here. So, as you know, last week I went to go visit my family in Atlanta, Georgia. And my Lyft driver for my morning errands before my trip actually ended up hanging out with me for the entire morning, and I only used one Lyft driver to get all of my errands done. Along the way, he had a few interesting questions, and I actually got interviewed by a Lyft driver.
For your LA fan base, since you're going back to Georgia, there are a lot of assumptions about racism in the South. From your experiences, someone coming from the South, coming from Georgia, a very, was known to be a very racist part of the of America. How do you compare your experiences as far as racism concerned there to here in LA, which is an area that is progressive as far as
I like that. Progressive.
as far as race issues and stuff are concerned?
I feel like the race issues here are a little bit different than they are in the South, whereas here the racism, from the experience that I've had, is usually whites, against the blacks or whatever. Usually, I haven't had to deal with that as much as you would think, being from Atlanta. But you come here, and it's pretty much the Koreans or the Hispanics, and then you have the whites. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention, in Los Angeles, all these groups of people are separated by city, and these are large cities. Koreatown is half of Los Angeles.
Koreatown is half of Los Angeles.
It's really not, but yeah.
It feels like it.
It feels like
shit. And I can't tell you how many times I go into a liquor store or a smoke shop, and I'm being watched.
I'm being watched.
And I can feel that. That still happens. It's 2016, but you know what? You have to understand also that people they learn these ideologies from somewhere or someone. So I'm probably gonna get a lot of fucking comments about this, but I don't always blame the person who is rude or racist or prejudiced towards me. They piss me off, yes, but I also see the flip side to the coin. Someone taught them this.
Which is not an excuse.
It's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse for their ignorance.
It's not an excuse for their ignorance.
Right.
But logically, I understand it. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you 100%. Because I've been in LA here for a long time. I'm not from LA, I'm from Houston. I've been here in LA for most of my life. And when I did go to the South, to Georgia for a while, all my friends were like, oh, the racism, how is the racism? Oh, are you okay? Isn't it the Klan? I'm like, and I tell them the same thing, that I experience so much more racism on a daily basis here in Los Angeles than I experienced in the entire time.
I feel like I think that might be because Southerners have this thing where they say what they want to say, but they insult you hidden. Oh, bless your heart.
It's a backhanded, very backhanded.
It's so backhanded.
It's nonchalant.
Half the time you don't even know you've been insulted.
Half the time you don't even know you've been insulted.
It's a very nonchalant type of insult. Yeah.
Out here in LA, there's no nonchalance about it. They tell you, look, listen, fat bitch, let me tell you something. Listen, nigga, let me tell you something. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever other racist derogatory term you can think of.
You want to coin at the time.
I don't think it's a good idea for me to use any of those terms as an example. Can you imagine? This bitch did blah blah blah. Fuck her. That's me. That's what typing is to me. Or even a phone. Swipe text.
Segregation that we experience from city to city to city that causes a lot of issues.
It does.
And the lack of empathy and the lack of understanding of other people's culture that is causing a lot of the problems that I think we experience here in the U.S. in California.
There's one of the problems right there. I'm driving by.
They are
fucking police.
They are they are a problem. And they're actually not too bad here in LA.
I gotta say, I have to say, every experience I've had with a police officer in Los Angeles has not been horrible. I even got pulled over once because my tag was expired, but I had my everything with me. I was on my way to get it renewed at my AAA place, and I showed them my paperwork. I'm gonna go right now. You know, I'm not from here. You know, this is like when I first got here. So I got lucky. I thought, you know, my tag expired. Obviously, I'm gonna get shot.
Obviously, I'm gonna get shot.
You know, that's a fireable, shootable offense.
Well, I think that actually some of the things that have been going on here in the U.S. concerning, with the cops and the recordings of the horrible things that they've been doing for decades and decades and decades.
Oh yeah, this shit ain't new.
That people are now just suddenly becoming aware of.
This isn't new. Niggas just have cell phones now.
It's actually, I think it's actually helped. It's helped some blacks in more urban communities. I'm gonna park downstairs.
All right, cool.
Because I know that, like, for me, cops, they don't even, they just kind of like have blinders on to me. Like,
they pretend not to see you half the time.
They pretend not to see me. Like, they don't even want to look my way. You know, like, if I'm not doing something I have to do something way out. Like, be in my car butt naked smoking crack.
Right.
With a prostitute.
While hooking.
Yeah, with a Chinese prostitute on this side. Like, and a bag of money.
Right.
A bag with a money sign on it.
Right.
Just money flying out for them to, they didn't even look at me. So
I guess because of all things that are going on, sometimes cops tend to look the other way now, because now they feel guilty with all the things that's going on.
Yes.
And they don't want to be prejudiced against themselves.
This is my opinion. It's just my opinion. I cannot vouch for that.
I can't either, but it makes sense logically. A lot of them are afraid to even approach, African Americans.
Young black men.
Yeah, because they don't want to get in the news. They don't want to be accused of shit, so they tend to look the other way on certain things.
Let them keep looking.
Let them keep looking.
Hey.
Look over there. Look over there. Don't look at this. Don't look this way.
But if you ain't doing shit you ain't supposed to be doing, chances are they ain't looking at your black ass anyway.
Yeah, but usually I am probably doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, let's not lie. This is Los Angeles. We gotta hustle. I sold 40 pounds of crack this morning. To a church of nuns. Oh, my motherfucking grind. I ain't got time. Shit. Make sure if you guys enjoyed this video, you click the thumbs up button and click that sexy subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.